On this channel, we do love a DIY project and we're not afraid to get our hands a bit dirty. Over the past few years, I have been tackling jobs in my house slow and steadily. And now it's time to start planning for the next stage of some renovations that I want to do in my house. So if you're like me and you are doing things as you go while you have the budget, there's no massive renovation budgets on this channel. I'm doing it as I go. Then I hope you enjoyed this video. So I am just taking rough pictures to reach out to a couple more builders for quotes and to come out and have a little look. And it's handy on my phone because there's a 0.5 and because my house is, well, this area is small, I know it looks big on camera. I am in the middle of measuring so I'll get like a square footage, but yeah, I'm just taking some pictures of this area and giving it a rough measurement. So this wall is 3 meters from here, 3 meters, it's like 2.94 by 2.8. So this is the wall that I want to take down, and I'll flip the camera around so you can look. So when you come down the hallway and then you have the stairs here, which you would have saw that lovely makeover, and that goes upstairs. So when you come here, and apologies, I'm going to try and keep this camera as steady as I can, and Bon is chasing a fly so you'll have to just stick with me. So I basically want to walk in here and all of this to be open plan and to be gone. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna scale back. So this, I do have some footage from a week, 2 weeks ago. I had to tidy up in here. So this was a bedroom, then it became an office, and now it's kind of like a waste of space. And I've been doing things in the house over the past 2 years, like getting the storage nook upstairs done so that I could do this. So I'll chat about that in a minute. So basically, this wall I would like to remove to make it open plan. The floor would be changed to all the one floor, and all this here would be French doors. Hopefully, I'll show you my inspiration, but the French doors with 2 windows either side. So when you walk straight in, when I come home, this will be French doors. You'll be able to see out into the garden. There'll be loads of light because this part of the house gets loads of light. And then I've no plans to change like the kitchen layout as in the cabinets. I will like update this area when it's in the budget, but the priority for the minute is to get the wall taken down and to open up the back, and then the floor will be changed. And then for now, I won't be touching the cabinets. I will probably change the colour, which I'll chat about that in a second. But yeah, it means that when you are here, this will be open and it'll be more of a, yeah, like an open space, and the lovely French doors. And yeah, that's my plan. And also to get rid of this grey. The grey just doesn't work in my house. So I am now in the planning stage of the next project at home. And as this is a larger project, and because I will be spending more money than I usually do, I really want to get it right. So giving myself time to plan is really important for me. I'm going to be using Milanote to help me plan and stay organised for this project. And Milanote is a tool for organising creative projects. And you might remember I shared Milanote while I was working on the stair makeover back in spring. Milanote helped me stay organised throughout the stair project. So let's have a look at my new boards for this project. I have used it as a mood board as well as a to-do list and a space to pin all of the items I need to purchase or the tasks I need to complete for this project. What I really like about this is it's really handy that I have everything organized in one place. So any notes that I make, tasks, to-do lists, images, links, files, they're all in one place. And I can gather ideas from different parts of the web and arrange everything visually to match my work. So when I'm having a scroll online and if I see something or want to save a link, I can use the Milanote web clipper to save that to my board. So it's perfect for getting a big picture view of a project, and if you're working with others, it makes real-time collaboration super smooth. So I can share my boards with a designer, a builder. It's very intuitive and it's easy to dive into even if you are brand new to it. It's also really useful and handy if I've got a few projects happening at once, because it keeps all my thoughts, my plans, and my checklists in the one place. And if you don't know where to begin, Milanote offers over 100 built-in templates for you to get started on any type of creative work. Milanote is free to use and has no time limit. So you can sign up now for a free Milanote account using the link in the description, and I will pin the link in the comment section as well. Let me know if you use it to create a board for your next project, or if you've used it for more personal things like a vision board. Let me know how you get on using it. And don't forget that you can use the Milanote mobile app when you are out and about. So if you need to make some last minute notes, take pictures on the go, or you get some midnight inspiration and you need to jot it down, then you can use the app and it will automatically sync up with all of your boards and it can be used on the go. For my kitchen renovation project, I have 3 boards at the minute. And these are my older ones up here. So I've got some garden ones, then I have the hallway project. I'm going to begin with the kitchen door inspo. So I'm going to just zoom in at my initial inspiration. So this is the style of door that I would absolutely love in the space. So when I open up that back wall, so I saved some images that I just found from like builders' websites. I was for a split second thinking of like just a sliding door, but I really do like this older, it's not even older, a more traditional style of French door. So I really want, there is a name for those bars that are in the middle. I can't think off the top of my head, but this is the style of door. And I have saved a couple of companies that I've come across. Some of them do them in PVC, and then some of them do custom timber framed ones. So yeah, I think that one there was a PVC one that I saved. So what I like about this is you've got the 2 large French doors and then you have the windows either side. Now that does look like it's an extension because it has like the brick at the bottom. But that is the vibe I would be going for. Now I did save some images like the bifold doors that just open right out into the garden. So I was getting kind of decision fatigue. So I have been saving things and I'm going to sleep on it. I keep going back to this style. So the French door with a little bit of like the detail at the bottom and the windows either side. I do look at these images of the sliding and the bifold doors and I think they're stunning. I think they're a bit more modern. And I do keep going back to the windows and doors that have the more traditional feel. And I would love to get a sash window at the sink that would tie in then with the doors. So I just saved a little sash window as inspiration there. So that is the door inspo. I keep going back to that style. Although if I know when I go to a showroom and I see a big bifold door like that, but I think that is quite modern and I do want something a bit more charming and cottage, and I think it would suit my house a bit more to have something like this. So clicking back to the home page, I then have my floor and hall floor inspiration. I've also just added some to-do lists and things like the budget, and the great thing about this is I can use the Milanote mobile app, so when I'm out and about I can add to it. So for initially I wanted all of this floor throughout the kitchen, but because of the maintenance of the tiles, and this has to be sealed, this is the Le Capietre tile, I don't think I'm saying that right, But I'm now thinking to get this tile in the hallway because it is an expensive tile, but it means I'm only using it on a smaller area. So I'm thinking this in the hallway and then leading into the kitchen floor. And some of you might be surprised that I've saved a dark oak flooring. This was some inspiration over here. And like I definitely could change my mind. The flooring is something, it's the doors that I'll be making a decision on first. But I do like the lighter colour cabinetry with the dark floor. And I'm thinking of maintenance because one thing I do have in my kitchen at the minute is a light tile, and it's a nightmare trying to keep the grout clean in it. And I don't know if I want the effort of trying to keep it clean. So if I do get that brick tile, which I absolutely love, I'll just have it in a smaller area so it'll be easier for me to maintain. It'll also be cheaper. And then yes, I am leaning towards this, but I definitely could change my mind on that because sometimes I'll see a light coloured limestone floor and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. But this was just kind of what I was thinking. This image here, I like the dark floor, but with the light cabinetry and then all of the light coming through. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then at the minute, the last board then that I have is just some inspiration for the details. So the lighting, the brass switches. So these are the ones that I use in the hallway and on the stairs. I also have the brass plugs. I'm saving things as I go. It's very hard to find a nice plug that's antique brass. So if you have any recommendations for antique brass plug sockets that don't look too modern, this looks quite modern. So I've just saved miscellaneous stuff. So just the radiator inspo, some light fittings, and these are things that I'm just finding as I'm going. And also because I'm going to be opening up the space where I have the IKEA Hemnes hack that I did, I am thinking of maybe getting a nice secondhand piece of furniture, like a proper Welsh dresser could go on that wall. But again, I've just been saving things as inspiration. The accessories and stuff, like things like the dresser, that's way down the line. So that's what I've saved so far, just to give you a little bit of the vibe that I am thinking. That is where I am at right now. Okay, a couple of preemptive questions. Am I worried about devaluing the house by removing this wall and essentially removing a room? So the layout of my house is not your usual house. It's a dormer bungalow. If you saw the videos from the DIY Diary playlist, you would know that upstairs is a really large bedroom and my neighbours have turned that into 2 bedrooms upstairs. Something I've noticed is this house, I always say it's the perfect downsizer's house. It's perfect for like a couple, and something that even when I bought this house when I was 25, I was conscious of, like, if you ever had kids and the 2 bedrooms are downstairs and you're upstairs. So I grew up in a bungalow as well, but we all lived on the one level. And it's something that I noticed when my niece and nephew come to stay. They are like, oh, we don't want to sleep downstairs in case like someone breaks in. So they sleep upstairs and then I sleep in the other bedroom downstairs. So this is a three bedroom house. I think if this house, first of all, if someone wanted to put a bed back in, you could put up a partition wall, handy enough. Although I don't think they would. I think it would be better to do it upstairs. I've no plans on doing that because I have 2 cats, not 2 kids. So my upstairs I absolutely love as mine, big bedroom with an ensuite. So that I think would be a more practical option. Another thing, and I did answer this in a Q&A video about like my plans to, do I have plans to like sell on and whatever. So I'll put a link to that Q&A because I did answer that kind of in more detail and I don't want this video to be too waffly. So no, I'm not concerned because my long-term plans for this house is not to be, I won't be selling this. Obviously things change, I'm touching wood. But no, I'm not concerned about that because I think where I'm removing the wall from the flow of the house for me is going to be better, and I think for future people. And also I think it would be more beneficial to have 2 rooms upstairs instead of having like a split level, if that makes sense. Whoever designed this house, I don't know what they were thinking. Yeah, having one big upstairs, yeah, I don't know. But it's something I always thought was a bit impractical about this house. But it's not impractical for me because I don't have a busload of kids. The next thing, you might be surprised by my choice of flooring. Because I am leaning towards tile in the hallway. And then a potentially darker floor in the kitchen. And the reason for that is I don't know if you can see the tile in the hallway and the tile in the kitchen. I'm constantly trying to keep the grout clean, the effort, the maintenance on it. And when I was in getting my carpet that time in February or March, I saw a beautiful herringbone oak floor. It was beautiful, and I just saved it, took a few pictures. I don't know if I'll do that. I could end up getting a lighter tile, but I think because I'm going to be opening up and allowing lots of light in, it is something I could possibly do. And another thing, see this grey colour? It is Benjamin Moore Pale Oak. No, I think I made that up. It's a Benjamin Moore colour, but I'm gonna bring it into the kitchen. I did do I think it was like my decor crimes, and I was saying about how my kitchen has been loads of colours throughout the years, and the last time I painted this kitchen was in I'm gonna say maybe 2022. This kitchen has been green, it's been pink, and now it's this millennial greyish, and I can't wait to get rid of it, because I think I was just doing that colour because I saw it online and I thought it was nice, but actually living with this colour, it's very grey, as in my mood grey. So you'll notice I've done a lot of warmth in colour when I was doing the bedroom stuff. That noise in the background is Bond probably pulling down a blind, chasing that fly. I warmed up upstairs with that antique cream colour. Even my stairs is a bit more warmer, and when I get all this taken down and opened up, I think that's possibly what I might do. Obviously I need to see what the colour is like and what the lighting is like. But yeah, I have never been able to get the kitchen cabinets like right. I reckon there's one last paint job left in them and a tile change, and I think I might just go for like a warm neutral, because I was going for the greyish because I saw it in pictures and it looked lovely, but in reality when I'm looking at it I'm like, ugh, I don't like it in my house. I want something, I think, just warmer, maybe like a heritage colour. That's not the word I'm thinking of. Bon! I don't think that's the word I'm looking for. Is it heritage colour they call it? Or like no, I think I'm thinking of Colour Trend. They have a heritage range, but it's kind of like older, not older colours, but like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think even like looking on camera and I see all the greyish around me, the grey, I think I need to lean more to the warmer, possibly warm it up with the wood. So where I'm at, this isn't, I'm gonna share a realistic timeline. Realistically, turnaround times for the doors that I want could take 6 to 8 weeks. I also need to get, so I had a builder give me some advice back in March, and there probably will need to be a steel beam put in for the door that I want. However, I'm getting some more quotes and opinions on that, because it's always good to get a few, because I'm being extra when it comes to the planning of this, because I am doing it all from savings. So I am self-employed, so it's very hard to get a loan when you're self-employed and when you're a one income household. So I have been saving up. Originally I wanted to do this last year, but sadly with my mum passing away, my savings took a hit. Because we obviously had like funeral costs, I took unpaid time off work, all of that kind of stuff. So I've built my savings back up, so I'm being really prudent. And I will tear up the floor myself if it saves me a few euro. But when it comes to the things like removal of the wall and the thing getting opened, I will be getting like a professional builder to do all that. And there is some other things to consider, like the electrics it will need to be rewired because the wall that's being taken down has 2 radiators, which is the source of heat for this room, and also has electrics for the lights. So that has to be reconfigured. And then where I would put a radiator, the wall needs to be supported. Opening up spaces like this is probably common in like Canada and America. I sometimes see comments about, why do we have doors? Why do we have doors? So open plan, most homes in Ireland and the UK, they're not made open plan because we retain the heat in our houses and drafts, and were you born in a barn is a popular saying in an Irish household when you leave a door open. So you will notice the homes are more cozy. We also don't have air conditioning systems in our houses as standard. Maybe new builds do, but most of the new builds nowadays, they have all these like energy rating things, and most of them you'd be sweating in them because they're all insulated and they have fancy heat pumps and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we do have doors in Ireland, and we do think about the heating. The heating, because obviously winter, our winters have been mild, but you still would, you would need to have your central heating. So yeah, these are all things I have to consider, and my budget may, obviously I have a tile in mind and a floor in mind, but I may have to, I've allowed a contingency budget for those kind of things. So the cost of having certain things rewired and switches put in new places, and that's going to be like a cost. And it's not a fun cost, because it's not like you're spending it on tiles, you're spending it on the electrician doing the work to relocate it. So it's not as easy as just taking a wall down. Even though it's not a load bearing wall, some of the builders we may need to have a steel support beam go in, because opening up the back, and yeah, it is kind of half of my house. I don't know what the square footage of my house is. It's not big though, so don't be fooled by the camera. So that is where I'm at. I'm doing this realistically. I'm also, I'm doing by myself. It's a 1 income household renovation. So I have to be really prudent, and I have to make sure I get quotes from different places. And I also need to make sure that because something I've noticed is you could get a quote and then all of a sudden it's double. So I need to make sure I trust whoever I pick to do this for me. If it's a case that someone can do the wall and the door for me, and then I get someone else to do the floor, I'll definitely consider that. So that is where I'm at with that. So I'm going to insert some footage from, I think it was 2 weeks ago, where I organized the office. And the reason why I've been able to do that is because, so I've been planning this for a couple of years, because I got the upstairs opened up in the storage nook. You'll find them older videos on the DIY Diary playlist. So the reason why that was opened up was because I don't need an office. I need storage, and that doing all of that has made me being able to, so adding storage to this house means then I don't need to have a room, because essentially my office was becoming a storage ground for supplies. And I also want to have a work-life balance. I don't want my house to be my office either. So I made sure I got the extra storage done a couple of years ago. That's been amazing. So then that has freed up space so that I can make this a living space, and I can reclaim it back. And when it comes to an office space, sometimes I work from home and I will go out with my laptop because I want to get out of the house. And that's something since 2021 I've realized is working from home, you think it's going to be fun, but actually I need to have a divide between home and work. And then obviously when I'm filming YouTube and stuff, I want to have that divide. So yeah, I would sooner have a little crafty space elsewhere down the line in the future than having a home office that I just use for storage. And because I want my house to be my home, I don't want it to be a film set. Does that make sense? So enough of the waffling. You can leave any questions below, and obviously I'll keep you posted with the process. We'll have a little update on this. Yeah, I'll keep you updated on the realistic process of how it's going and what timelines are looking at. Yeah, So that's where I'm at, and I'm so excited to do this because it's something I've wanted to do for like the past few years, and I just feel like it's going to make the living space in my house, because this is somewhere where I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. It's like an area I use the most, and it just feels like when I walk in I just have this divide, and I just want to open it up, and then I will just have lovely garden space, and it'll have a more of a connection to the outside inside, and I just think it's gonna better suit me. Instead of having like a wasted kind of room in the garden, I don't spend time in my office. If anything, I avoid it because I just dump stuff in it. But now that I have my storage sorted, I am getting better at putting stuff away and downsizing with my tools as well. So that's where we are. I'm going to get into the next bit of footage and I'll keep you posted. This is carnage and I absolutely regret. Oh, what have I done? I need just a mental break. Okay, operation downsize. All my stuff, well, not even downsize. Let's get smarter. So we have plant station. I need to dismantle that because that was for like March, April, and the greenhouse now has enough light and heat. Then I'm after getting this new tool storage, and it has wheels. Oh, apologies. This pile of fabric needs to go into the storage nook upstairs. I have some beekeeping frames over here. Yeah, I basically am going to, so I have loads of tools in here, and the ones that I use the most I'm going to keep there, and then the other ones that I don't use as much I'm going to take out and put them into the storage nook upstairs. I'm also going to put some stuff that I use, like, not that I use all the time, but the stuff that I bring with me to places, I'm going to put them in this, so it's just handy for me to throw them in instead of having to like fill bags. You probably see in previous videos where I've been filling Dunn's bags with the tools. And I also got some handy storage boxes so I can get rid of, apologies if the camera is shaky, all of these drawers. I'm gonna get all of these things into them boxes so I can start to get better organized, because this is clothes pegs. Yeah, this is not working for me. So I've been putting this job off, but now I need to start. Also around here, I have a toolbox that is overflowing, and this is an absolute riot. The stuff that's in here, I use probably the most, so I'm going to take this out. There's like battery packs. It's an absolute riot in here. I'm going to, hopefully it's not focusing, but we're going to organize that and it's going to be so satisfying. Now for anybody who's new, you might be wondering, why do I have all of these tools that really belong in a workshop in this relatively pretty room? This room did used to be a bedroom, and then it became my office. So I live in a small house. I only have, I think it's a 6 foot by 3 foot shed out the back, and that is full of my gardening tools. I don't have any more space to add things, so I don't have space to add a larger shed, and I don't have a garage, and I don't have a basement. So in Ireland, it's very rare that you would have a basement, and it's a luxury to have a garage. So our homes are smaller, so we have to get more clever with our storage. This solution is what's going to work best for me. I would absolutely love to have a workshop, but the great thing about having all my tools in this handy wheelie storage case is if I were to decide to move into a working space, I can easily transport them. And transporting tools is actually something that I need, because if you've watched some videos in the past, sometimes I will go out in the field on a job. So having something like this is great because these buckets just snap onto each other and they click in so that they don't roll off and fall off. And you'll see in a minute that it actually fits perfectly into the built-in that's in this room. Now, my downsizing and reorganizing is part of a bigger plan, because this room is not going to be my office anymore. And I will have a video very soon in the future sharing what's going to happen. I had the realization over the past couple of years that it's not an office I need, it's a space where I can store things. Because when it comes to laptop work, I tend not to sit here and do it. So this room has become a bit of a wasted space in the house, and we don't want that. Now, I made an absolute mess, but I have to be careful because that's a really expensive camera lens just chilling right there in the clutter. But, okay, you need to come out, my friend. Those storage boxes, hang on. My stackable storage boxes fit perfectly in this space, so I don't even have to put them up in the nook. So I'll still put up the tools that I don't use as much to free up space, but they fit perfectly, and that has just given me joy. So I can, oh, you'll have to just believe me that I can close the door because there's a camera lens there. So this is giving me joy. I'm just gonna give you an aerial view on my phone because I can zoom out. But this is carnage and I absolutely regret. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? But at least the box sits nicely in the thing. Okay. Right, I'm going to focus on getting all these storage things full because then I can close everything and then that will go neatly in there, and then at least that's one thing done. And then, oh my God, why did I begin this? One of the main reasons why I need to get my act together and get this room cleaned is because hopefully over the course of the next few weeks I will have builders in here doing the knocky tappy, and actually back in March time I did have a guy in the house having a look. I was explaining what I wanted to have done and this office was an absolute mess. So I was trying to explain what I wanted done but also cringing at all of the clutter that was in this room. So when I do have builders coming to have a proper look, at least this room is hopefully going to be clean and organised. And if I do need to pull anything out, so if the built-in unit needs to be moved because the wall needs to be checked or anything like that, at least things can be moved and it's not going to be even more cluttered. So you could say I'm kind of doing some prep work. So if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you will know that I had an upstairs side attic or a knee wall attic created with loads of unused space in the house. And this was an absolute game changer and one of the big reasons why I'm able to not use this room as an office. So all of my craft stuff is up there in clear containers and it was like the best investment in the house in terms of storage. So I have all of my boxes of fabric, all different craft stuff. Your girl is a crafter of many trades. Got some woodworking stuff, all my Cricut stuff, vinyls, flower things. You name it, it's up there and it's great because I can just take out whatever container I need for whatever project, and it means like if you look back on old videos with this room, it was ridiculously cluttered and that was because I didn't have any storage. So if you're thinking of investing in a storage solution, absolutely do it. If there's a wall that needs to be opened up, if you have any unused space, I'll leave a link to that video where I share a bit more about the storage nook, but that was just the best thing I did in the house. I have decided to go to, no, my reason for doing this is I need just a mental break. I'm going to go to the recycle centre because I want to get a coffee and a break. It's iced coffee season. I was like, you know what, I'll do the paint tins. So I have the paint ready to go and the recycle centre closes at 3:45. It is now 3:15. So I need to get my skates on. I'll make it. So I just have a broken tool. I have my broken saw that I tried to get fixed, but as usual, it costs more than the tool to get it fixed. These are the days. So I have some electrical bits that I kept meaning to bring to the recycle centre, and I have my paint tins that have dribbles in them. So it's not that long ago since I tinned out on paint, so it's not too bad. So that has freed up a little bit of space. Once I get all this fabric up into the nook, it's not going to look too bad. Then I have beekeeping frames. Thankfully the bees are busy, so those frames can go straight into boxes that I have. And then the plant stand. Oh, okay. It is so satisfying that this space is clear. Can anybody help me? Apparently this is a common thing because I googled it. I have a lens filter on this. So this is a filter, an ND filter for photography. However, I didn't take it off. It's been just in storage. I need to use this lens, but it's smashed. I don't know if you can see. The lens itself is not smashed, the ND filter is, and it is jammed on. But I want to use the lens underneath. I have resorted to using WD-40. I'm after spraying the joint with WD-40. I tried the elastic trick that Google said, so it was like put an elastic on it and twist it. It must be common for these to get jammed on. So if you have filters on your lenses, take them off after use. WD-40 did nothing. WD-40 is my pal. That normally gets everything off. I don't know how to get this off. Yeah, actually, do you know what I think happened? I think I see the problem. When it's smashed where the crack is, there's a dent. Maybe I'll get the pliers out. I mean, it's broken anyway, but I don't want to break the lens, but I think that's what's stopping it from coming off. Have you ever had this problem? I think I have it. WD-40. Ah, she's back in business. Ah, there goes. Thankfully my lens cap, or my filter, is DED. Actually, can you tell? So I use this for photography and it gives you like a little mist. Gives it a lovely like vintagey effect. I think this was like 30, no, it was probably about 50-60 euro. But at least this lens is worth way more, and the lens is absolutely perfect. I just have to wipe off the WD-40. Phew. I actually need to photograph something like for a job, so I really wanted this lens. Anyway, crisis averted. If your lens cap gets stuck, WD-40 and pliers. But be careful. Take care. Don't damage your equipment. Okay, and take off your filters. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Okay, that was my little procrastination. Now I'm going to get back into the tidying. The caffeine from my iced coffee is not working how I want it to. If you have any tips on how to keep a small space clutter free, then do share in the comment section. I actually think it's kind of nice living in a smaller house, because I do think sometimes more space, more clutter, more stuff, and then that gets overwhelming. And clutter, I mean, it's expensive. Whether it's you have to spend on whether you need to get skips if you're having a big declutter, the time it takes to go to the recycle centre, the time it takes to bring it to the charity shop, or if you do decide to sell it. Over the years, I've gotten much better, although this video looks like I haven't. I think I was 25 when I first moved into my house, so there was that kind of, oh, I need to fill everything, I need to fill it up. Even though it was with secondhand stuff, it was like, I need stuff, I need to fill it. And then I think that happens as you realise you actually don't need as much as you think, and it can get pretty overwhelming pretty quickly. So I'm now in my era where I can appreciate a pretty thing or a trinket or an ornament or something, but I don't have to necessarily own it. Now at the minute, I feel like I'm hanging on to stuff that's good and I potentially want to sell it on. I have a little decor wardrobe upstairs. It's not it's the little nook that's on top of the stairs, and inside of that is like some home decor pieces that are, I haven't used them. I'd like to shop from there when I want to spruce up an area and redo it. But a lot of the stuff I haven't used in a while, and I was thinking to myself, I've been visiting all of these car boot sales, that maybe it's time I did one myself, and then the money from that I can use for the project that I want to do. So I'm definitely not a minimalist, but over the years I've gotten really good at not bringing too much stuff into the house and getting a bit better at passing things on. I definitely feel lighter. I love looking at home. I love maximalist home decor to look at online. But I find over the years, I thought that's what I wanted when I moved into my house. But then over the years, it started to, I don't know, just feel really cluttered for me. I think as well, when you work from home and you spend a bit more time in your space than usual, you start to look at your house differently. If you're wondering where I got that shelving unit, that was a middle aisle special buy. I got it in Lidl. I went in looking for a metal one that I saw, and I found this, and it was half the price. And what I love about it is it's so easy to dismantle. So I set this up in March as my seed station. So if you don't watch the Sunday garden videos and you're just seeing this now, I made this little temporary seed station, and I could put the grow lights on it. And it's great because I can just easily disassemble this and it goes up into the storage nook. But I can also use it in the greenhouse, or I can even use it in the future up in the storage nook, because like that I don't have any high wall space up there, so I can use it side by side instead of having it stacked on each other. So yeah, if you come across one of these on the middle aisle, it is so handy as like a temporary shelving unit, because it's just so easy to assemble and then disassemble. We can see the floor once again. I just have a few seed bits on the table, but yes, we're clean once again. I have some space in here. The reason why I'm thinning out on this is because when I get work done on this area of the house, I may have to take the top off. I will have to take the top off. So if I can have as minimal amount here as possible, because when the time comes, at least I can take out the remaining items. It's not going to be, I'm trying to just thin as I go with them, and then what I can store upstairs, I will. So I just have, this footstool has a home, so that's great. And then in here, this, you know what? I didn't have to put any tools upstairs. So satisfying that toolbox just sits in here, which is great, because I can just, if I need to put it in my car, I just roll it out. I don't have to like lug it up from the storage nook upstairs. So yeah, I managed to like not have to move any tools upstairs. In here I just have some of the other tools, and then I managed to get an extra shelf for some beekeeping equipment, but in fairness that will probably all go into hives in the next week, so but at least I have that shelf there. Oh Bon, oh actually no, I'll let him have a nosy. He's just admiring my hard work. 3 of these are now freed up, and yeah, I'm just doing that to free up as much as the top as I can, because the top half is probably going to come down while work is getting done. I'm going to close this door before Bon does any work. Like, look at the old wallpaper got damaged. Nostalgia from a time when this room was a bedroom. Over the years, this room has been many things. It was a bedroom, it was an office, it was a storage nook, and hopefully this summer it's going to be transformed once again. Now also, I was thinking, I have some stuff that I don't use, like that computer monitor, and I'll show you upstairs. I want to show you the nook because it's not actually too bad. Now, Miss Bjug is upstairs asleep, so I don't want to disturb her. Oh, here she is. The Queen is asleep. She is in her window having a slumber. So the storage nook is still got some space. So I have boxes of fabric up there, Halloween skeletons, loads and loads of craft supplies, wood stuff, scrap pieces. I left my tripod downstairs, so you are resting on the chair. I have some mirrors, I've kept some good stuff, and I think I might do a car boot sale or list them online, because anything I sell will go into a new floor budget. So does anyone else have stuff that they're like, oh, I could give that away, which I normally do, or I could sell it and put the money towards the floor that I want. So I have some mirrors, I have some like home, oh God, there is a dog outside that is going crazy. I hope it's not annoying in the background. Mirrors, home decor pieces that are in good nick, and I feel as I was tidying them and putting them to one side in the storage nook, I was like, these are car booty. I've never done a car boot sale. My friend Adele is interested. I remember saying it before about car boot sales, and she's like, I think I'd be into that. So I don't know, maybe that could be a fun vlog for summer. I don't know, car boot sale. I did ask in a previous video about if yourselves have done some car boot sales, and there was kind of like a mixed response. Some people were saying that, you know, they did well, they sold stuff, or a lot of people wanted stuff for like next to nothing. So I don't know, maybe I could, I suppose, put stuff up on the secondhand websites, and then if they don't sell, then do a car boot sale. But I did put the good stuff to one side, and I was like, I think I'm gonna sell that. Back in, I'm gonna say 2011 and 2012, I used to sell off all my dresses, and it was when I was saving for my house, and I was on a low wage at the time, and I was saving half of my wage, and I used to sell my dresses, and I used to sell them for like 20-30 quid. And I used to make like 100 quid a month or something. Like I used to sell 3 or 4 dresses, and that used to be my like going to the pub money. So I haven't done it in ages, but yeah, I used to sell loads of stuff secondhand, but I haven't done it in years. But I think, why not? Everyone else is doing it. Anyway, that is my waffle. I'm gonna have a cup of tea, and then tomorrow I think I'll see what bits I want to kind of drop down to the charity shop just while I'm on that clear out buzz. And then yeah, more organising is needed. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, or you want to follow along for future projects, hit the subscribe button, and then you can also check out this playlist with the most recent DIY reno projects in the house. Check out the DIY Diary playlist. There's also the Sunday garden video if you prefer some outdoor projects. And there's also the member area where there's a member ad-free playlist, and there's also the exclusive member-only Q&As if you want to get personal with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.